So how about Martin Ose, aka VeryDarkMan himself? Have you had any contact with him whatsoever?
No, not at all. Not direct. I understand a couple of times or 3 times he has had problem with the police. And I sought the assistance of one of my lawyers. On one occasion, his lawyer, Mr. Dejade, you filed a bail application for him. It was my lawyer, Abubakar Mashal, that argued the application. I also know on one occasion, he was arrested, right? It was the same lawyer, Abubakar Mashal, and Omoyele Sowore, that approached the police for his bail. So, and that is why, as Shakespeare would say, for me, it was the unkindest court of them all. There was no basis for it. I'm handling a case in Lagos here. In respect of a journalist, right? Who has been charged in the Federal High Court under the Cyber Crime Act and under the Criminal Code. We've got bail for him. We raise objection to the validity of the charges. Some have been struck out. One remains. The fellow is, even though we have got bail for him, right? Another charge has been filed against him in Oka or somewhere in the east. This case was referred to my law firm by Mr. Dejade. So whichever way you look at it, these gentlemen have no business to engage in such what I'll call, okay, they have no business to attack my integrity or the integrity of any member of my family.
So given the growing influence of social media where rumors can quickly spread just as it had done with the guys, what are you doing in order to protect your reputation in this digital age?
I'm likely to file a few cases because somebody also wanted to jump on the fray last week and said certain things. I mean, to the fact that the Lagos state government wanted to pay some money to compensate the families of those who were
EndSARS victims
killed. And that somebody said my advice was sought. Not that she was in the meeting. Somebody said that my advice was sought. And I said they should take the money as a gift.
Okay. That's Sarah Ibrahim.
No. One princess, or Lucy or something, I don't know her name. Or Lucy. One princess. No, not Sarah. Sarah is a very decent lady. She gave all she had for that struggle. All the sacrifices she made. I hope one day the country will remember her. Through her, we mobilize witnesses. She spent her own resources to assemble witnesses to give evidence before the Justice Doris Okobi panel of inquiry that investigated police brutality in Lagos State. I nominated 2 lawyers to assist them because of the role of FAS in the EndSARS protest. I deliberately didn't want to go there. So I spoke with my friends, very dependable friends, Adeyinka Olumide Fusika, SAN, and Effiong Iniebe. And both of them rendered their services pro bono publico. Not a dime was collected. As if that was not enough. Of course, when they were approached by the government, Sarah and then Yeka came here for a meeting. And I said, good. You must grab the money as compensation and as admission of the killing in Lekki. Where do you go from there? After collecting the money, we file actions for adequate damages. But I call my colleague later, Adeyinka Olumide Fusika, SAN. Knowing this society, be very, very careful. Keep your records. Detailed records. So that nobody will wake up one day and accuse you of anything. And I'm happy he did. I'm happy Sarah did. The only person who came to me, who came to me directly, was one Mrs. Victoria Igwe. The panel had concluded its work. By the way, the panel had paid about 407 million naira to victims directly. But we're not talking of those who were killed. This lady came, crying. What happened? Said her husband was killed. A dispatch rider. What can we do for you? Oh, wow. With 4 children, we took pity on her, investigated her claim. We found it was true. So I sent a letter to the governor. Your Excellency, you had already given 10 million naira per widow. In respect of the police officer that were killed. So the Lagos State government had paid 60 million naira to widows of policemen that were killed. Now this one, even though not a policeman, it's a spy police person. The governor called me. Governor Sanwo-Olu called me. Yes, we're going to help, but this one was not a policeman, but a spy police man. But we'll see what you can do. The Lagos State government gave 5 million naira to lead it. Again, we don't ask them to pay such money to our chambers. We give the account number and the contact, and that was also done. When she collected her check, she came to our office to thank us. On that occasion, my wife is a pastor, she prayed onto the check. We have the photographs. The last one, I think last year, a policeman, a police officer, an inspector of police was maintaining traffic along Ojo Road. Some soldiers who were driving on the same road, who were asked to stop for a trailer, arrested the policeman, took him to the barracks, beat him to death. In this country, beat him to death. It was the DPO of Ojo that brought the widow here. Her husband, the husband of the DPO, is a judge in Ogun State. He said, go to Falana. He will ensure that this lady gets justice. Again, we took up our case. We had to give her some money, at least to address immediate problems. We wrote to the government. We wrote to the police. Happily, the Lagos state government has approved 10 million naira for her. The police, they paid her part of the entitlements of the husband. We're following up for her. And it's not limited to Lagos. Currently, the police headquarters refer a case to us. 3 soldiers went to arrest a notorious kidnap suspect in Taraba State in 2019. About 10 soldiers. Oh, in this one that I just told you about, we did it finish. We have identified the 11 soldiers that killed the policeman, and we have sued them and the Nigerian army, and we are pursuing their prosecution. The one that was referred to us from Taraba, we file an action in Taraba under the Fundamental Rights Enforcement Procedures to get compensation for the family of the only policeman whose case was referred to us. Because the 3 of them were killed in active service. So we do not collect money from such involvement in the promotion and defense of human rights. And when the government is going to pay such victims or the family members of the deceased, we simply advise the government, please pay directly to them. I'm sure you are aware of a case, the gentleman that was killed in a hotel in Ile-Ife. Out of concern, because a big man was involved, the owner of the hotel. Many Nigerians abroad had raised 70 million naira for the family to hire a top-rate lawyer in the country. The family contacted me and informed me, we have 70 million naira for your services. And I said, please, don't insult me. Keep the money for the education and welfare of the young widow and the children, 3 of them. I handled the case. Ensure that the suspects were convicted. Ordinarily, it was a very difficult case for me because I had to travel from Lagos to Osogbo. I had to hire security men because of kidnapping. I had to hire hotels for myself, my driver, and security people at my own expense. Right? Some of those who were convicted appeal against the judgment in the Court of Appeal in Akure. Again, I have to travel. I've been handling the case. So these are not cases we ask somebody to pay for.